Welcome to episode number 3 of Empowered Podcast with Michael and Marilyn. Marilyn, it's so awesome to be back here again, recording our second session of these podcasts. But since we've listened to the first ones back and gotten the feedback, like what's been your take?
Well, it's been so fun to hear people talk about how the guests we had have supported them in things in their lives. So that's what I'm most excited about, and we have great guests today too.
Yes.
So.
Go ahead. Let's introduce our guests for today.
Okay, Corey, I'll let you introduce yourself, and we'll go around the circle.
Okay. I'm Corinne Scheitlin. I do holistic nutrition, and I've been in practice for about almost 20 years. Your turn.
I'm Dr. Mackenzie McNamara. I'm a chiropractor. In my practice, we use acupuncture, chiropractic care, and enzyme nutrition and other types of holistic nutrition as kind of a 3-part approach for health and wellness for kids and people of all ages.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And my name is Carl Makarewicz, Dr. Carl Makarewicz. I am a chiropractic physician. Actually, it'll be 25 years for me coming up in December. Yes, I can hardly believe that. Chiropractic, have a family practice, and we do nutrition as well. And I have massage in my office as well. So.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
As you probably can guess by now, our subject today is going to be on nutrition, and it's sort of we always communicate about what is the best, highest use, like what could we talk about that's going to provide value for people, and we decided we were going to talk about our health journeys and go there.
Yes.
Yeah. So about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with lupus and didn't know what that was. I just know that everything started to deteriorate and couldn't figure what was going on, and really wasn't that big on doctors or going to the doctor. It's like that mentality of when I was like 16, 17, that nothing could go wrong, and then a decade goes by, and another decade goes by, and then you're in your 40s, pushing 50, and then stuff just starts to break down. And that's what happened to me, and I developed an autoimmune. But it was weird when it happened, because it's like there's just something inside of you that says this can't happen, there's just something that doesn't click, but boy, when it does, the reality of that really does impact your life. And it was shocking at the beginning, but what it ultimately did for me was it began to wake me up, and I now consider that part of my health journey, and I actually think it's like the best thing that could have ever happened to me in a lot of ways, because I would have never stopped what I was doing to take the time to re-educate myself, really become real with myself, and start seeking out information that would benefit me. But at the beginning, it is so overwhelming, and the guests that we have on today are people that were a part of my journey, a part of Marilyn's journey, and you'll talk a little bit about your health journey too as we move forward.
Sure.
In just a second. But like, that's the context for today. And I know if you're out there and you're listening and you've been diagnosed with this or started to recognize that something's going on in your body that you just don't know what it is, maybe like the takeaway that I want everybody to get from today is one thing. Like for me, it was one thing that led to something else, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, I want to give you a chance to talk about your health journey.
Well, really what I'm going to talk about today is something that just happened this week that really surprised me. I didn't anticipate at all. I'd had a very busy weekend and knew that I was probably doing more than my body wanted it to. And all of a sudden I was getting out of a car at the last event we needed to go to on Sunday, and my back went into excruciating pain. And that's not something normal that happens to me on a regular basis. I'm like, oh, this is the biggest week I've got scheduled in several weeks. I had a whole lot of things going on, and I thought, okay, what do I do first? And of course, we're talking about energy work also. I had friends who helped me with some energy work over the phone. I also knew, this was Sunday night, so I wasn't going to call Mackenzie yet. And then yesterday morning, I called Mackenzie and said, can you help somebody who can't hardly get out of bed? You know, she's, you? That doesn't happen to you. I'm like, it happened to me. So I'm here and I'm comfortable tonight. And yesterday morning, I really didn't think that was going to happen.
Cool.
So.
Well, even this morning when we talked,
Even this
you called me
morning.
to say I can't do this tonight.
Yes, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and
we did more
let's
energy
try
work.
11:30 to see if you're going to be better at 11:30, because it's, you know, everybody's schedules are so crazy, and thank you guys so much for being here,
Yes.
taking the time
Thank
out
you.
to come.
Sure, absolutely.
Like,
Yes.
have a conversation with us about this, because I think it is, well, it's so important. It's the crux of everything.
Yes.
And
It is.
it is overwhelming. There's so much information
Mhm.
out there that you don't even know where to start. And whenever do you remember how long it was that we, like, after I was diagnosed with that I started with Juice Plus, that you guys introduced me to that?
Oh, it's been years. Yeah.
3 years?
3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but the number that they gave me was, maybe you can help with this, Dr. Carl, the ANA number, that's
Mhm.
anti-nuclear acid something. Do you know what that is, that number? It measures the inflammation in your blood,
Okay,
basically.
right.
Yeah, there's a
But
few
lupus is, you know, doctors categorize it, you have to have a certain number of these
Yes.
symptoms before they'll consider it X,
Yes,
and one of those
yes.
things is your ANA numbers are over 1200,
Mhm.
which is that it doesn't register any higher than that. And that's where mine was, and it was that over a period of time, and they're like, okay, now you check all these boxes, congratulations, you have
Mhm.
this disease. And, oh, here, let me give you this pill for it, that is for, literally, for people that have malaria. Like, that's the medication that they give you for lupus.
Oh, wow.
Like, no kidding. What's a and I said, how did you figure out this? He's like, oh, people that had malaria, that had lupus, their symptoms stopped, they went away whenever they took this medicine. That's literally how they found that out, and they're literally still prescribing that to people today. So at the beginning, I did take it for 6 months. It didn't do anything, so I just ditched
Wow.
it and decided I was going to start figuring this out on my own.
Yeah.
And one of the very first things that I did was I started taking Juice Plus, because my dear friend Pam told me about it. We're going to be talking about our best friends in
Yes.
another segment, so
Yes.
that's how this is sort of all connected. But you guys have been doing Juice Plus for a really long time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I would really love for you to share with us information, because I started not making any health claims, but after 6 months of taking Juice Plus was the first time that my ANA numbers
Sure.
started to go down. And that was the only thing that I impacted it.
Cool.
I can't make the claim, but I'm just telling you that's what happened to me. And subtle changes started to happen in my body, and it was the thing that led to other things happening in my life. So I know it's fruits and vegetables and little pills, and you take 2 a
Mhm.
day, and that's how that works. But I would love for you, since this is your life, and like, how did you get introduced to it? Like, how did it
Sure.
start, and how did it connect with what you do in your
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, it's funny you said, Michael, I don't like going to doctors either, so just to let you know. And I always say it this way too when it comes to health. And thank you for doing this podcast, because when it comes to health, actually when it comes to a lot of things in life, we're led by two ways, either inspiration or by desperation, okay? And the majority of us, especially when it comes to our health, unfortunately, we react, okay? So that's why it's a reactive healthcare system instead of a proactive healthcare system.
Right.
So, you know, to be ahead of the curve and before your body breaks down, you know, before you get into that reactive state, that was kind of why my introduction with Juice Plus came about, because I didn't have any health issues, okay? I had a chiropractic clinic. I was working with a nurse who we did nutritional profiles, and we were doing supplements at the time. And that was all I knew, and that was the best that I knew. And then I went to a networking group, and I was introduced to the concept of what Juice Plus was, it was whole food nutrition. And enough to keep it really simple, it's none of us get enough servings of fruits and vegetables in us every day. and the amount that we're supposed to get, because there's so much that we're obstacles that we're faced as far as environmental toxins and all of these things that we face, as well as our familial history, things like that. So it just fit in seamlessly with what I was doing with chiropractic, because with chiropractic, it's essentially, people that say they don't believe in chiropractic, my question to them is, then you must not believe in the body's ability to heal itself. Okay, so if you cut your finger, then your body doesn't heal itself, right? And they don't know what to say, because that's essentially what we do. We just remove nerve interference, and the body has a reaction to take care of itself, because it has an innate wisdom designed within if you're making the right choices and doing the right things. So with Juice Plus, it was just fruits and vegetables, and you can go on the American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, all of those sites will tell you to decrease your risk of developing these chronic diseases. Fruits and vegetables is the common denominator. There's no one that's going to deny that that's not a staple. So to me, but to flood our bodies in and get the amount 9 to 13 servings, that's the tough part. So with this, it's just a foundation, and then you build from there. And the other thing that they had for me was, because you can get over 50 different plants in your body with it in a concentrated form, they had the research. So as an example, for yours, the reason I recommend the product was because when you have inflammatory responses that are decreased and that change takes place, they actually have clinical studies that support that's done on their product. They have over 38 published clinical studies that are in peer-reviewed journals done by prestigious hospitals and medical institutions around the world on their product, and it shows all the physiological changes that can take place, and reducing inflammation in the body is they actually have 3 studies on that. So,
in my experience, it did work, because I have measurable proof that it did.
Yes.
But like, how is, I take 3 a day of the fruits, the vegetables, and
the berries.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how is that actually made? Like, can you share that? Like,
the product itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the things I love is they have their own growers, and then what they do is they pick it when it's vine ripened, which is another thing that you like. So if you're going to a grocery store, you don't really know when that produce is actually there. With their own growers, it means the soil that it was developed out of is the best soil, because a lot of the soil out there, especially with industrialized farming, what we've done is depleted the soil and the intake. So and then when they pick it vine ripened, they either juice it right away or they flash freeze it, and it's a slurring. They call it a slurring process, and where they'll throw like for instance, in an orange as an example, 80% of the vitamin C in an orange is in the peel. So what they do is they'll throw everything in, and then they mix it up, and they call it a proprietary process. That means it's secret. So anytime you hear that word proprietary, it just means it's their formula, and they eliminate the water essentially, and then that just leaves the basic elements of what is in that fruit or vegetable. So if you took an apple and you juiced it and you eliminated the water, you would just have a little mound of what actually made that apple. Just as another analogy would be the human being, human body, in an urn. If you cremate a body, so you go from this to a little thing. That's kind of the way it works, and it's just concentrated is what it is. It's all those phytonutrients that are in a concentrated form, and they figured out a way to get it in your body. It's pretty cool.
Without having to go to the grocery store and
yes, and they'll never. And I will say this also. I always like to use this phrase. It's a foundational product. You get it in, but you also, it's not a magic bullet, because there is no magic bullet when there is no magic bullet when it comes to health. But I take it because of the research, because I know what it's doing for me. But I also make make better choices. I eat more fruits and vegetables, water, sleep, exercise. All those things are foundational for better health too. Being a proactive step.
Coming in that form, somebody figuring that out really was a catalyst for. It was easy for me to implement that into my life without making the radical changes, because I didn't know what those radical changes were yet. The one thing we all have in common is we all eat. Like every human on the planet, this is something that we have to deal with and talk about, because we all know that there's information out there about where food comes from and the stuff that's in it and making the best choices. But for most people, financially, they're in a place and they have to go to Schnucks or the local grocery store in their particular town, and that's what they have. You know, they don't have access to go out and grow their own food for the most part, for most of us. So like having that, knowing that there's no chemicals in it,
Yes.
that it's monitored, and that was just a great way to kind of like that first droplet in the water, you know, that causes the ripple effect. So that's how Juice Plus lives for me, you know, in my life.
And mine as well, because I've learned so much with the company as well, because they're very big into education as well. So yes, and I think you hit the nail on the head with when it comes to health. You know, it's those steps we have to take. It's a journey.
It is.
It really is. It's a
Literally
journey
is.
that you build on. It's like you look at us now and you think, oh gosh, I can never be like that. No, don't think that way. You have to take everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
Everybody's journey is different. So.
Well, that's why we're having this conversation that's going to evolve today. And yeah.
Well, so as you took the supplements that are made from complete whole foods,
Yes.
then you figured out, well, I need to eat complete whole foods.
It did happen. I became a vegan
Because
after
there's
that.
so many. You talked about the grocery store. The grocery store can be a great place. However, you have to be careful that you're eating real food.
Yeah, stick to the walls. Stick to the
Yeah.
outside walls. Don't go down the
There's
aisle.
so many
Amen.
choices now. It's really overwhelming, and we literally have to teach people how to eat again,
Yes.
because there are so many options and there's so many other aisles with so many labels that say all of this great stuff and it's really not, and remind people that the nutrition is on the outside. It really
Yes.
is. So
I once had an instructor who said to us, the closer to God you eat, the better your health is going to be. And that made so much sense to me, because I grew up with a garden at home, but I don't have that in my life now. It's just not budgeted in our hours during the day to have a garden. So there are ways to find healthy food to eat. So
That's why I actually heard a phrase similar to that by a
Yes.
wise chiropractor many years ago. Is if God made it, you're good.
Yes.
If man messed with it, you better think twice.
Right.
That's pretty.
Wow.
And that's
Yes.
always stuck with me.
Yeah, it really made me think too about
Yeah.
everything I put in my mouth. So. It's
But
huge.
until we get to that point where everybody's got their own little organic garden in their backyard, like we do have to rely on each other and figure out ways to get it in without that's an actual feasible, because Juice Plus was an affordable option for me to get that in my life, you know,
Yes.
without thinking about it. It was like that first step, and then you know my journey continued, and multiple people, multiple steps. And Corinne, that's why you're here today. You came in about 7-8 months ago, right?
seems right.
Time I had
Beginning
no
of this
concept
year, I'm sure.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. It was
Yeah,
so
it's
like
been a while.
cooler.
Mhm.
But like for when you were recommended for me to come see you, actually went to your boyfriend, right?
Danny.
Yeah, Danny, and he was doing some energy work. I mean, he went on my stomach, and I remember him stopping. He goes, "Oh my God, you need to see my girlfriend." And I was like, "Okay, give me a card, I'll go." So that's how we met, and I went over to you, and we had our experience where we started, and you just blew me away, like with your knowledge about food and nutrition, and I basically did what you said, and it was a lot of like restoring and filling up where things were empty with different vitamins and different minerals and stuff. But I did exactly what you said it was like 3.5 months solid.
And
Because I
that's
came
the
to
thing.
see you like
It's
twice.
You're right, everyone is so different and everyone has their own journey. And even when it comes down to your health concerns, there's specific protocols and specific foods that are targeted for you that I would maybe do something different for her. So then it becomes really personalized, so your healing speeds up. It's targeted to those concerns, what your body needs. Maybe you're deficient in something that she's not. So that's why I think personal nutrition is really good for everyone, especially now. Especially now. Because what we are bombarded with, external stuff that we can't control in the environment and even in some of our food supply. And then old recycled information about certain foods that we think are okay, but they're really not now, or they've been damaged along the way, stuff like that. So that's a lot to sift through by yourself these days.
Yeah.
So, and
Well-
it's really overwhelming, and it tends to freak people out, and it gets scary, and then we just kind of go back to our old way, because at least I know how to do that one, and get back on that bike, and we're like, but I don't like the way this one feels.
Yeah.
So, it can be a challenge, but.
Yep, when I met you, I was taking 2 to 3 Prilosec a day.
Wow.
I don't take any anymore.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
hard to
Yes.
do.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, seriously, it's been, I don't even think about it anymore. It's the strangest.
That feeling is miserable too when you.
But the
Stomach.
point was that I really wanted to make was that something when all of that was filled up, like whatever you saw in my body and you muscle tested, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, about how that works, and it was just so precise, and you knew exactly what to tell me what to take, when to take it, and how many of them, and the regimen. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, there was times it was
Initially.
like, that's
You
just
needed
my
a lot
breakfast.
then.
I did, like, no kidding. But the third month, somewhere like that third month, I had everything on a counter, like at my house. Like in the morning, it was my routine. And I would get up and I would have everything, and I would lay it all out, and I would count them all out. And it was this big bowl of pills, supplements I was taking every morning, especially so much vitamin D.
Not pills,
Sorry,
food.
sorry. It looks like pills.
Concentrated food in a capsule.
Correction,
Don't call it
correction.
pill.
I got it. To the layman, looking at with a big
Yeah.
bowl
Right,
of
right.
capsules, they would see.
Yeah.
So going down, I just kept taking them because I trusted you. Like I knew like you were in that moment, seriously, for me, you were my guidance system when I couldn't
Aw,
connect to it.
thank
Like
you.
that's what that was. That's
Thanks
how
for
powerful that
choosing me.
was. Which, yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Danny.
Right, thanks, Steve.
And then one day I just, like out of the blue, I didn't look at the paper. It's like my body knew. It's like, okay, you're done with that one for right now. We want you here and just do it. And then this thing just kicked in about, I just intimately knew what it was, when to do it, and how much. And then it shifted. It
Right.
just kept shifting. It's like, okay, not for 2 days. Like
So you started
it
listening
was fun.
to your inner physician.
Yes.
You were
Yes.
able to hear it.
Yeah. And it was
That's awesome.
extraordinary. And it was like a light switch went off and I was on another trajectory, and I kept meaning to call you, I kept meaning to write you a note or something just saying thank you, but I was so in the
You're in your
journey of it,
yeah.
the zone, yeah, and I was feeling so good, it just, and time goes like that these days, and it was like probably 3 months, and we were talking about creating this episode, and I was like, I gotta have Corinne on because it was such a powerful point in my life, and then
Yeah,
I reached out, and
thank
then
you.
here you are. So thank you
Thanks
for
for
that.
calling.
So
Well, that was the next thing I was going to ask you. Do you find that a lot of people do start just knowing that it's time to change, or that they need this instead of that their own intuition or inner guidance kicks in automatically?
That's
or
what I
do you
love
teach-
doing, is teaching that, and they
Okay.
don't even know it. So when you
Okay.
go on a protocol and you're kind of lost, you don't know where to go, and you are trusting me this much to just get going on something, then when you start eating these foods and you start taking the supplements that help speed up the process and are supportive and can be the foundation like that, then eventually you start clearing the muck. You start clearing the energy that's been blocking you from being able to listen to your own inner physician. And so after maybe 3 months, which a lot of times can be a blood change for people,
Yes.
or further 6 months to a year, depends on what's going on and how long you've been dealing with it, is that eventually they start coming to me and saying, hey, do you remember that supplement that I was on a long time ago for blah 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 blah? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I remember that really made me feel really good. So I just started taking it, and I felt really drawn to it, and I even smelled the bottle, and it smelled really good. And then whatever was going on cleared up, and I'm like, yes. So now you can hear your inner physician, you feel drawn to something, you remember something, that's your higher self, that's your inner physician talking to you, and now you can hear it. And so they learn that by themselves, and
Yes.
a lot of times I just like to expose it to them and say, hey, do you realize what you just did? You did this.
Perfect.
So
I love that.
that's my fuel for my
Yes.
work, is being able to see that light go boom and
Yeah.
be able to realize that.
Great.
It's one of the really cool things, I think, is each one of us, you know, mind, body, spirit, and if one part of our being is vibrating at a lower level, if we're
Right.
having health challenges, it brings every other aspect of us down to it, so it's harder for the other aspects, your mind and spirit, to be vibrating at a higher level, or this, you know, it works all the way around. So then when you start to nourish your body and give your vessel what it needs to be healthy, then the music that comes out of you is so much more beautiful.
Exactly.
You're more in tune, literally, and so everything elevates, and it's like your spirit just speaks to you, and you're more connected to everything that's greater than you. So it's like
Mhm.
the journey just like explodes all of a sudden, where you just get on this trajectory, like you said, and it's just
You wake up.
yeah.
Yes.
You wake
do.
up.
Yeah. It's like you become alive again.
Right.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
did, like, it's, and you don't even know that you weren't.
Exactly.
And that's the
Right.
craziest part. Like, I didn't even realize I wasn't. It's so
Right.
slow how it,
Yeah,
like,
it creeps.
deteriorate, and then boom, and then
It's true. I will even have some people, some clients actually forget what symptoms they came with.
Yeah.
So when I kind of just
Remind them.
they're
Yeah.
like, no, I don't have that. I'm like, are you sure everything's okay? And I go back to the file, and they're like, oh yeah, I haven't had that in 6 months. I'm like, yay.
That's amazing how
Yeah,
that
it is
happens.
amazing.
It's
That's
like
happen.
amnesia sets in or something, and they really forget how bad they felt because they feel so good now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
What a gift, you know.
And
Yeah.
they didn't know what it was like to feel that good before.
Right, there's that too.
You found that
there's
too?
no clue.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You don't know how good your body can feel, and in
Mhm.
chiropractic, what we discussed, it's called, I referred to it earlier. I think it was innate intelligence, the
Yes.
body's
Yes.
ability to heal itself from within,
Right.
and that's really ultimately what we're talking about, and
Right.
that's the cool part. And the thing about Western medicine that really gets me is like to ask a physician, okay, well, you know, what we're really talking about here is that, and I've asked a physician, a medical physician, at a nutraceutical conference, and I said, Doc, how come it is that you guys can write a script for a pill, okay, a prescription drug, and you take it, and it gets into the body, and the body knows exactly what it's going to do with it, and it takes it and it disperses it into the body, like, you know, and you don't even have to think about it. And he says, and he's like listening, and I said, what would be the difference between that and the reaction and the chemical reaction that has in your body and food? What's the difference?
Right.
Isn't food, when you put it in your body, has a chemical reaction and does certain things in your body
Smart.
just like that would
Right.
do? And it was just kind of like a deer in the headlight.
Yeah.
It was very
Yeah.
interesting because in the perception, and I'm really not going after our allopathic brothers or
Right.
sisters,
No,
you know, it's just
we're
the
not
way it is.
anti.
It's a different paradigm, though.
It
You know,
is.
you
Yeah,
ask
it's-
different questions, and when you
Yes.
start to shift your questions, you start to shift your life with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and your
Yes.
thought
Yeah,
process changes,
exactly.
and yeah, it's
Like,
was
oh,
really
okay.
interesting. So
Yeah, that is pretty good.
yeah, so kind of interesting.
But that's how Mackenzie helped me yesterday too. When I had this severe pain, I called her and I said, yeah, it was kind of like a comedy show when I was getting out of bed this morning. And I said, I'm not used to this. I don't know how to react. But so mine was more acute. It wasn't the insidious way that you were talking about. This was an acute thing. And normally, my inner guidance can take really good care of me. But I had let myself get busy and got caught up in the busyness, and I kind of shut it off. So I went into her office, and I did tell you when I came in, though, I said, I think it might be kidney energy related. And you're like, yes, I watched you walk in.
Yeah, when you came in the room, in my mind, I was just thinking kidney, kidney, kidney. And you're having low back pain, so flank pain back there can be related to the kidneys, but it just was screaming in my mind. And then you said, yeah, I think my kidneys maybe. And I was like, okay, it's kidneys. You know, so it was like confirmation for both of us. But it was interesting because we had kidneys are really tied with low back pain.
Yes.
They can
Right.
be.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were using some herbs to support your kidneys,
Yes.
to try to nourish them. The other interesting thing is with acupuncture, we know that the kidneys are emotionally the home for fear, and they also hold our ancestral chi, or the life force energy that we bring from our heritage, our genetic lineage. And so you had said that you have some family members who have had
Nephritis,
some kidney issues, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of energetic things going on relating to fear and the collective consciousness. And so It was very.
Really? There's fear?
You don't say.
Stop.
So it's interesting that the kidneys showed up along with the back pain.
Yes. Well, and we knew that, I mean, I had been doing too much energy work. I'm an energy worker for a living, and I knew that I was stepping over the line and seeing too many last week, but I didn't want to tell a few people no.
Right.
And yeah, I picked up too much energy. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
And your
I was so
structure
grateful.
reacted, your spine
Yes.
reacted to that along with your
Yeah.
kidneys. So we were able to do a full system approach, you know, so we
Yes.
addressed the structure, we addressed the energy with acupuncture, and then we use nutrition to support your kidneys and some other things to help everything kind of calm down.
Yes. And I do have a nurse practitioner that I sometimes see, and it's funny because I won't see her for 2 or 3 years, and she'll remember me because she knows I do energy work. But I had an appointment lined up with her because I'm like, oh gosh, did I let this get into an infection? It's really, really sensitive. But the supplements that you had to offer, I think, kept it from moving into that phase for me.
Glad.
And that was huge. I canceled my
Thank you.
appointment after I saw you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Very cool.
and then got up this morning. But amongst the energy work, it feels like it took a village. Michael did some energy work.
Well, that's why we
Mara
have a
did some
village.
energy work. All these
It
people
is.
have done energy work on me
Yeah.
too. And then of course I do my own energy exercises, but it worked.
Well,
It worked.
at the
And
core of everything is energy. So
Exactly.
that's what it is.
And doesn't it feel good to have a village?
Right.
Shouldn't this be
Yes.
the norm?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That this is where you go when
Yes.
these things happen, and work there first, and let the medical system be your safety net,
Right.
not the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, this is absolutely a fascinating conversation, and I want to continue it. Are you guys okay staying for another session?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm just so thankful that we started this conversation. I'm so excited because I want to dive deeper into your health journey and
Yes.
let you guys express like how it is when you're working with clients and what you're seeing today. And you just mentioned the collective,
Yes.
that we all are aware that we're going through some changes on little planet Earth here. And I would like to talk about how that big picture relates to what you guys work with every day, because you're healing
Yeah.
people just like us every day. So appreciate you being here and staying, and we're going to conclude for today and just wish everybody the best day ever, and look forward to tuning in next week to the next podcast, number 6, where we continue
Yes.
this conversation. Thank you
Perfect.
guys.
Thank you.
thank you.